teams enter Audi Field today looking to break away from their losing strides. Today, Loudoun United FC meeting Atlanta United 2. Today, presented by the National Conference Center. The National Conference Center, home of Loudoun United FC, is a corporate training facility in Leesburg, Virginia, hosting over 14,000 individuals per month and comprising 265,000 feet of meeting space. The National contains 250 conference rooms and athletic facility, commissary, and 917 guest rooms. I'm Chris Makoviak. Alongside me, former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. Looking on over Audi Field, and Loudoun United, two-match losing streak, but they've been up and down all season, and hopefully this break is going to help them out.
Yeah, it's a 13-day break, and the big question is this good or bad? And it depends on whether you're one of the two R's. Are you rested or are you rusty? And I guess the good thing for Loudoun is it's against a struggling Atlanta 2 side, so no better way to hit form and show everyone what Loudoun can do by getting a good win today.
Atlanta United 2 on the other side, really tough go with things. They started the season 3-2-1 in USL Championship play, but since then, 9-game winless streak.
It has been tough. The last match against the Indy 11, they were doing really well. 84th minute, they conceded to lose 1-0. But previously, they got beat 5-0 by Pittsburgh Riverhounds and got absolutely punished for individual errors.
Yeah, the funny thing about both these teams today, they both lost their last match to Indy 11. Atlanta United looking a lot better, though, than their 5-0 loss at home against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in their previous matchup. Today, looking to take one back from Loudoun right here on ESPN+. Loudoun in their 4th home match of the season. Can they get the 3 points and make a strike at playoff position? Welcome back into Audi Field for tonight's match. Today, presented by the National Conference Center, home of Loudoun United FC, a corporate training facility in Leesburg, Virginia. With that, let's take a look at our starting 11s for both squads, beginning with the home side. Loudoun, a few changes in the lineup, Gary.
Yeah, 4 changes. You'll see in goals, Earl Edwards Jr. is in for Miller, then Akeem Ward for Peebo Due, Ku De Pietro for Griffin Yao, and Harry Hawkins for Andrew Laban. So they've moved things around. They pushed Connor Presley up from right full-back into right midfield. But yeah, an exciting team. Lots of young players, lots of wonderful talent coming through.
Yeah, second consecutive match with Saravia and Martinez starting at the center back spots for Loudoun. On the other side, Atlanta United 2, a few changes as well, including at the top.
Yep, they have got changes. They've got 18-year-old Kendall Edwards for Pogba in defense. They've got 17-year-old Jackson Conway for Kisadu, and 19-year-old Kana Kimana from Burundi for Gordon Wild. So 3 youngsters coming in, and as with Loudoun, once again a very exciting time full of great young prospects.
Ekana Kimana, a really interesting story. The 19-year-old from Burundi has played with the youth national teams of his native country and actually led the Burundi Premier League in scoring last season with 23 goals, currently on loan from MFK Vyškov of the Czech 3rd Division. But he has shown well so far, coming on with Atlanta United 2 in 5 appearances and about 180 minutes to this point. Looking on over Audi Field as Atlanta United 2 in the white kits and in the red, the home side, Loudoun United FC. And we're underway right here on ESPN+. Again, I'm Chris Makovic. Alongside me, former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey on the call as we look on over Loudoun United and Atlanta United 2. Two teams currently out of playoff position if the USL Championship ended today for this 2019 campaign, but certainly a 3-point result here today could go a long way.
It certainly could, and especially for Loudoun, they've got games in hand and plenty of home matches still to come. Of course, playing almost all their matches away up to date, only 3 at home. But I think in fairness, and we've got to say this up front about both these sides, they're both feeder teams for MLS as well, and that makes the pressure on them to produce youngsters as well. So, you know, we look forward to seeing these great youngsters. We understand that they do want to finish in the playoff position, but they also want to make sure that they find that next great young American star, and that's what I'm excited about.
Here's Murphy immediately in the box, loses it on the challenge, out of play, and Loudoun's going to get an early opportunity after that one.
Yeah, Carl Murphy, 4 goals so far in 12 matches this season. Very sharp striker up front, and one of the much older players at Loudoun at 26 years of age, a senior compared to all the 18 and 19-year-olds. So he's going to give Atlanta 2 a few headaches this afternoon, I would suggest.
Yeah, Murphy, 31 shots this season, 28% of that production of his entire squad. He'll get some chances today as this is headed up and almost cleared by Atlanta United 2. And now they'll take it in on the near side. Deflection there and out of play as it will stay with the white kit. Now we'll take a look at our injury report for tonight's match, brought to you by Ortho Virginia. No injuries to report on Loudoun's side of things, and Ruth Venn out there for Atlanta United, unavailable with a hamstring injury. Back with Loudoun as a foul is called back. And Loudoun, the last match, also at home. And unfortunately, a 2-1 loss to Indy 11, but they were up 1-0 early on in that match. Really piece of brilliance from outside the box by Loudoun.
Yes, some strike it was from Loudoun as well, and then an unfortunate own goal. In fact, back-to-back 2-1 defeats to Indy 11 and Louisville City. But, you know, they're just losses, 2-1 against very good sides. One of those, Indy 11, top of the table, of course, in the Eastern Division. So, you know, there's no disgrace in losing 2-1 and putting up a really good battle, especially when your average age is well below that of some of the other sides. And again, I think it's the excitement of seeing young players. I mean, for Loudoun, Ku Di Pietro at 17 years of age. I mean, that's so young, and you think, well, if he can play well at this age, what a future he must have.
Yeah, and he's getting his first appearance today along with a few other players. Loudoun, you mentioned it before, Gary, they have a long way to go this season. They have played only 12 matches to this point, mostly on the road, and they'll finish out this season with 13 of their final 18 at home, as that is a nifty piece of footwork from Castanheira to clear it.
Yeah, tricky with goalkeepers. They take chances these days, and as we've seen in a few matches, you can get easily punished. Atlanta 2 in particular against Pittsburgh Riverhounds, giving away a whole ton of goals from errors trying to play out the back. So maybe they've learned from those errors, and coach Stephen Glass of Atlanta 2 saying that this is what the youngsters must do. They must learn quickly. That's the bottom line. They can make mistakes, but they've got to get over them and make sure they don't repeat them.
Yeah, Coach Glass told us on our call this week ahead of the broadcast that really it's come down to individual mistakes in many of these cases, and really looking for some consistency now with this lineup, hopefully with many of the call-ups coming to an end and getting that same stable lineup back in there that maybe we saw in the first 6 matches of the season for Atlanta United too.
Yeah, and again, one of the challenges for both these sides is it is very difficult to get consistency. Players get called up to the more senior squad, and you're forever having to sort of chop and change your team. But that's the nature of the game. It's tough for both coaches, and they know it. And, you know, people expect results irrespective of how often you have to change your team. And we expect a good performance this evening. So, I mean, everybody expects these teams to perform no matter what. And that's the pressure on the likes of Loudoun and Atlanta too.
That's the thing. Both teams looking very good in their defeats against Indy 11 as we look on at Ryan Martin, who recently took over at the helm for Loudoun United in place of Richie Williams, who left the club for another position. The foul is called on this near flank here in the 5th minute of action. Cudi Pietro, we just mentioned him, getting his first appearance this season for Loudoun United.
17 years of age, yeah. First game of the season, so exciting times for him and his family, no doubt. I'm looking forward to seeing how he pans out over the next 85 minutes or so.
Kendall Edwards there. You saw the center back for Atlanta United 2 playing the ball up the field. He also getting his first appearance of the season for his club.
Yeah, he's 18 years of age, sorry. So 18 years, a veteran compared to the 17 years of Cudi Pietro and Atlanta too. There's also a 17-year-old in Jackson Conway.
Here's Murphy, nice little touch through there, trying to make the turn, goes down. And a foul will be called, this coming back as it was Decas that brought him down.
I'm not quite sure. He's saying he didn't think it was a foul. I'm not entirely wow, he's got a yellow card for it as well.
Goes with the card early on, setting the tone, and there's the captain, Jack Metcalf of Liverpool, England, coming over to have a word and kind of looks shocked.
Let's have a look at this again. As he comes across, a little bit of a hand on the shot. I think what the referee's saying is he pulled him back. Oh, it's marginal, but it's given. These days you have to be very careful trying to pull players back when they're getting past you. And Carl Murphy very wisely going straight down to ground to win the referee's favor.
Decas, his 3rd yellow card of the season. And standing over the ball for Loudoun now is Antonio Bustamante.
Good ball in here could cause all sorts of problems.
Start number 6 of the season for Bustamante. Ball sent in, Castanero right there, but Murphy nearly getting a touch. The keeper will service it downfield.
Yeah, that ball way too close to the keeper there. It was relatively easy for Castanero, although he did wait for the ball to come to him and had to sort of battle with the forwards there. But for those sort of free kicks, you've got to keep them away from the goalkeeper. Give your forwards something of a chance, because keeper with his arms outstretched is no match for any striker.
Foul called. This time, Edwards there. Winning the foul, excuse me.
Here's that free kick again. Look how close it is to the keeper. I mean, it's literally 2 yards off his line, but as I say, Castanero's got to come meet that ball. He waits a little bit too long, and it's always possible for a forward to just get in front of you and stick it in the back of the net. But he gets away with that one.
Yeah, the Columbia graduate having a very good match against Indy 11, despite giving up that goal that, if you have seen it, really nothing he could do too much about it with the marking in the situation. But 5 saves for him against Indy 11, really a hostile environment on the road. Eighth minute, ball going back to Loudoun United. Loudoun getting set to go on a 3-match road trip after this one. And of course, spending the majority of the second half of the season at home and starting on August 9th in the home confines of Loudoun United Stadium. Had a play throw in for the home side. Good tackle there, winning the ball as United 2 taking it the other way. Down the left flank, here's Fernando. Ball sent in, headed up and away by Hawkins. Top of the box and cleared just in time by Pilato. Cutting centrally, Loud looking for a good look here. Try the right side, played in, knocked down and cleared away with the final heave.
That was Carl Murphy just sniffing around in the box there. He just couldn't quite get it under control. And defenders clear it, but Carl Murphy's going to be a handful for this Atlanta 2 defense over the rest of this match. Always sniffing around that box.
4 goals, 2 assists this season for Loudoun. Ku DiPietro cuts it back, top of the box, a strike right into the arms of Castanera. And there's Orlando Sinclair with the first chance of this match.
Orlando Sinclair, it's a decent strike. It's directly at the goalkeeper. Castanero's got no problem making the save, but positive. That's what you want. Nicely set up here from Ku DiPietro. And have a look. Gets a decent amount of effort behind it, but it's a little bit too central, and the keeper has no problem gathering that one up.
2 goals this season for the Costa Rican forward. Couldn't make it 3 there, as this one is brought in by Edwards Jr., getting the start today after Colin Martin took over the duties in the past 2 matches. Getting the start in the loss to Indy 11.
Just looking at that shot on target, it was a little bit too easy to get that shot in, and that's a problem for Atlanta too. They've got a -14 goal difference, 3rd worst in the Eastern, conceding way too many goals, 27, and that's their big problem. They do score a few, but they concede way too many, and that was an example on the edge of the box where they allowed a shot through to their keeper. They were lucky it wasn't the best of shots, but that's something they're going to have to work on, Atlanta too.
Foul call there in favor of Atlanta 2, and this time going against Akeem Ward, who has started for DC United this season 1 time at Toronto.
The referee just having a word. Maybe the captain's just asking some questions about decisions that haven't gone for his team, and the ref probably saying to him, you know, let me do my job.
Well, after that initial yellow card as well, that Metcalf was really unhappy with. I'm sure that's the conversation that's taking place. Ball sent in there. Edwards right off his line and grabs it. An easy one for the keeper to take in.
Yeah, well, that's the same as on the other side. Way too close to the keeper, way too much time on it, and the keepers will come and catch those all day long, which to me is a wasted opportunity. Set pieces in and around the box can cause so much problems, or so many problems if they're well delivered. But maybe the guys are just warming up, and hopefully future free kicks will be a little bit further away from the keeper.
Right there a few moments ago, good look at Jackson Conway, the 17-year-old. Has 1 goal this season for Atlanta United 2, now making his 8th start of the season. Saravia recently announced this week on a full contract now with Loudoun United after coming up on an academy loan for the better part of the season to this point, and making it his 6th start of the 2019 campaign for Loudoun. We'll try the right flank now. Presley. Ku DiPietro back into the box, but too much behind his teammate. As Atlanta now a chance to breathe a bit. And Presley, someone really to watch. 12 created chances this season from the wing spot. He's one of the better players in that category this season for Loudoun.
Yeah, Connor Presley, 2 goals in his 12 appearances, you mentioned, and has played more, or fairly often as a right back, now playing more right midfield, and a good attacking player to have in that Loudoun side.
It tied 5th in crosses in the Eastern Conference with 71. As Hernandez will play it back through for Atlanta United. Ball dribbles through, but again taken back by Loudoun. Saravia will play it across now. Martinez playing a bit more advanced today, up ahead into the midfield than we're used to seeing. Hawkins settling into that left center back spot. And Martinez certainly looking for a good showing today after the own goal against Indy 11 that tied the game up in the second half of that match. As this is headed up by Pilato. Okonkwo going down there, and a corner kick is won by the Nigerian forward, though, and Atlanta, maybe a chance here.
A bit of a shake of the head from Nkonkwo, and no goals in his 5 matches so far this season, which is frustrating for the big Nigerian. 21 years of age, and as a striker, you have to get goals. That's what you're measured on. So yes, you might hold the ball up and you might bring others into play, but ultimately he'll be desperate to try and hit the back of the net.
5 goals last season on loan with the Charleston Battery in 24 appearances. Still trying to really get things going in the USL Championship. We'll see if he can on this play. Go the short route on this one. Covered fairly well initially. Ball chipped into the box. Headed on. Good pathway here for Edwards. Chip back post settled. Here a strike, but sails it into the stands. And a goal kick now for Edwards.
I wonder if Edwards could have got that ball in a little bit more quickly from out wide. Have a look at it again. Ball comes across. I'm thinking, yeah, knock it in early before anybody else gets in. Takes his time and eventually gives the defenders just enough time to get back. And strike coming in from Kanakimana and goes over the bar.
Presley right back the other way on the right flank. Martinez, some room in front of him. He'll survey things and try a ball over the top, but met by the end line. Play it all the way back and give a touch over to Castanera. Edwards there, a poor touch. Grabbed from behind by Murphy. Pretty easy call there from our head official today. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Stephen Glass at the helm of Atlanta United 2.
Yeah, frustrating for them, playing so well against Indy and conceding in the 84th minute. You know, it's frustrating. You have a bad match against Pittsburgh Riverhounds and you get severely punished for every error. And then against high-flying Indy 11, you look like you're going to get at least a draw out of the match. And that's part of the frustration for Atlanta. No wins in 9. Not easy to keep your head up and to play with confidence when you just can't seem to get a result. But that's what they have to do. Atlanta 2. They've got to bounce back from this, and that's part of being a pro footballer, that sort of mental strength.
It seems like these Eastern Conference teams right now living in Indy 11's world. 6 wins in their last 7, including a 3-0 win over Birmingham midweek. We'll take you through those Wednesday highlights when we hit halftime. As Martinez up ahead, passes it off to Presley. A good flick on. Cudi Pietro couldn't find his teammate though, Presley, as it's volleyed. Sinclair. Through ball towards Murphy, but right into the arms of Castanera.
They're trying to play out nicely from the back now. Atlanta 2 is looking to play to the feet and then mix it up with a long ball to the big center forward.
Luis Fernando brings it down, knocks it into left side of the box. Tried a little through ball, but met by the defense, and Hawkins now looking to bash this downfield. Back to Edwards in the back. Edwards making his 6th start of the season, giving up 8 goals so far, 18 saves. Atlanta gives it right back over to the home side. Good knock on down the left flank. Running all the way through and knocking it off. Atlanta will try the opposite side now. Ball sent in, Hawkins deals with it and sends it directly out of play.
It's a good ball in nice and early there, and a vital clearance under all sorts of pressure at the back.
That's a good run by Benitez from the left back spot all the way through. Offsides flag is up. And it will be going back the other way, this time against Kanakimana. As Ward sort of wins that ball there, and they'll bring over Edwards for the kick downfield. Look at the Loudoun United coaching staff. As we mentioned before, Ryan Martin taking over recently, the Columbus, Ohio native and graduate of Ohio Wesleyan University, spent time at Wake Forest coaching, and then FC Cincinnati more recently before coming over as the director of the DC United Academy, starting in 2017.
And he'll certainly be looking at the fact that a win will take them up the table. They've got games in hand, 3 games in hand over most of their competitors. They've got a whole bunch of games to come at home. So I'm sure he feels, Ryan Martin, that if he just gets a bit of momentum going here, they can comfortably get themselves into the playoff places. And a win today at home for Loudoun would certainly begin that process.
They've played the fewest amount of matches of any Eastern Conference team so far this season. Only teams close to that, St. Louis and Pittsburgh, with 13 matches played apiece. Both those teams currently in playoff position as this ball goes out of play and back to Castanheira.
And just looking at that for Loudoun, 4 players 20 and younger today. Mind you, to be fair to Atlanta too, they've got 5 players 20 and younger, but if you just focus it on Loudoun, it's a very, very impressive situation to play that many young players and be looking for results and to get yourself into the playoff position. It's something they can achieve with this team. A lot of talent playing in those red shirts at the moment.
Send it over to Metcalf, the captain. Through ball up ahead. Good run down the right flank. Into the box now, looking for the chance. Tipped away by Edwards. And it's going to be cleared now by Martinez, at least sending it down the flank. Stays alive and now finally out of play, but a good tip by Edwards, getting it out of the situation.
Yeah, it was a good save from the goalkeeper. He had to make sure it didn't go to the opposition as he palms it away. And decent run and cross in as well from out wide on the right-hand side for Atlanta too. But that's a positive play from the visitors, and certainly Earl Edwards had to be sharp there to make sure that one didn't end up in the back of the net.
Kanakimana has really opened things up on the right flank initially in this match, and that's what he's been doing with Atlanta United too, primarily off the bench in the last few weeks, but slowly getting integrated into the squad. Loudoun using a majority of possession so far in the first 23 minutes. Open room here, and here comes Akeem Ward down the left flank into the box. Cuts back over, and a good tackle at the last second by Edwards. Foul on the back end there by Ward. And meanwhile, we'll take a look at that last chance for Atlanta.
Yeah, Kanakimana does so well. He's got great pace. Look at that. The afterburner's on, gets across, and Earl Edwards palms it away, and fortunately palms it into an area where there's no opposition players, and Loudoun can breathe a little bit more easily after that, but that was a good attack from Atlanta too.
Benitez plays it down the left flank. Fernando, former Richmond kicker for the last 3 seasons, passes centrally. Cut back there by Conway. Ball played and deflected out of play by Pilato, and it's another corner kick coming for Atlanta.
Yeah, Jose Hernandez trying to get the ball into the box there, and good pressure from the visitors at the moment. They're certainly testing the Loudoun defense. Have a look at it again. Ball's going to get played down the line there. Jose Hernandez tries to hook it across, as you say. Good block from Pilato, and now it's a set piece for Loudoun to defend.
Pilato, the Penn State University grad. Metcalf will take the corner kick. Last time around, went the short route. There's Fernando standing there, the Brazilian. 78 appearances with the Richmond Kickers in the USL Championship. Fernando plays it across and cleared away by Hawkins. Back to an Atlanta throw-in now on the near flank. Benitez takes it in. Native of Panama City, he'll play it back across. Kendall Edwards standing tall there and passing it off to his captain, Metcalf. Edwards, the 18-year-old, 4 starts last season for Atlanta 2. First appearance this time around, and another one of those Atlanta United Academy products, or soon-to-be products. Fernando, cross in, back post, headed up and away by Ward. At least briefly away, as it's a header, a shot, but a light one over towards Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards behind the ball, the header from Kanekamana. Have a look here, the ball gets crossed. And it is a decent header away from Hakim Ward. In comes Kanekamana. Edwards just gets his body behind the ball and deals with it quite comfortably.
The Kanekamana there has to fly through the contact of Sinclair and still somehow, someway got that shot off. So credit to him for that, but could not generate enough power to really trouble Edwards there in between the pipes.
It's a good spell from the visitors at the moment. They really are creating opportunities, putting Loudoun under a fair amount of pressure. And we said earlier on that maybe some of the results for Atlanta 2 have been a bit tough on them. Maybe they've deserved more. Certainly their coach, Stephen Glass, thinks so. He says they've been very unlucky, played some great football. Even when they've lost, it's been individual errors that have cost them. And certainly you can see that this is going to be a tough match for Loudoun today.
And Coach Glass clearly very pleased with the effort and performance against Indy 11. Just that one chance of really an open net opportunity at the back post for Indy. And that hot streak was able to continue for the home side in that match. Running room here for Fernando. Cuts back, shot coming, big save there at the near post by Edwards. Getting the right paw up, it's a corner kick for Atlanta.
That's a very good save from the goalkeeper there. Strong right arm there from Luis from Brazil. There is the man there on the left foot, very strong left foot. Just opens up the angle, but hits it well. Look at that for a save from Earl Edwards. Absolutely brilliant from the big man. Just make sure that his team keep that clean sheet.
Fernando really opening things up on this left flank. A goal and an assist this season.
Well, chance at a set piece here. Again, if it's delivered well, it can cause all sorts of problems.
Ball sent in near post, headed away, and Atlanta will recollect down the field. They'll attack right away with the ball and a shot, but well off the mark there on the left side.
A little bit hopeful, I would think. It was sort of like 45 yards out, and it wasn't that well hit, but yeah, well, credit for at least having a try.
Well, here's the thing. Just on Wednesday night, Wayne Rooney hit one from well away, further than that. So, I mean, there's something lucky about this field, I guess.
Yeah, it was a great strike, though. I think Rooney could see the goalkeeper off his line, saw the gap, but the strike and ability to direct it, absolutely world class.
Out of play, and it looks like, based on the reaction, we're going back to Loudoun United.
Important for Loudoun to sort of stamp their authority on this game. They've been under a bit of pressure last 10, 15 minutes. And I guess the home side just want to knock the ball around, get a bit of domination, get a feel for it, and see if they can start probing that Atlanta United 2 backline.
Yeah, so far, just one shot by Loudoun, that by Orlando Sinclair directly at Castanheira. So it was on target, but not too much coming of it. As we'll try the right flank now with Metcalf. Intercepted by Martinez, who's having a very good day at that holding midfield spot. Benitez will play it on back to his keeper, Castanheira.
A lot of pressure. Look at the red shirts in your picture. They'll pick up any mistake from that Atlanta 2 back line and have forced them on a quick pass.
Wyke looking for some room here against Martinez. Good cut back, and he'll play it on the right flank now. Metcalf down the left flank. Cutting end line, puts it there and knocked up into the air and over. They want the corner kick, but nothing coming, as it will be a goal kick.
They're saying it's a goalkeeper save, and if it is, it's a fantastic save. Luis with the cross, and the Brazilian thumps it in, and there's a touch there, and I think Nkonkwo is forced to save from the goalkeeper. That's what he's saying anyway. Doesn't seem like it's been given. Well, it hasn't been given.
It at least looked like it went off the crossbar. That's what I thought initially happened, as it was directed up there. Either way, it's back to Atlanta on the other end of the field. But still, this Atlanta attack is really getting things going early on. He registered 15 shots, 3 on target against Indy 11. Benitez cutting centrally. Put a ball through there, it looked like, but it was knocked away by Hawkins. And now over to Bustamante. And so far for Loudoun, it seems like the problem has just been connecting to that final third. They're getting good pressure down the wings, but they just can't find that final connection.
Yeah, they haven't put too much pressure on Atlanta too as yet. By the way, they seem to be playing with a back three, Atlanta, and they've pushed Martinez up into midfield. So it's Hawkins, Saravia, and Ward as the three at the back. So interesting change. They've switched it around. They sometimes play 4 at the back. And so far, good bit of skill there, wasn't it?
Sinclair opening things up for Presley. Right wing puts a cross in over everyone, though, and that'll fly through the box out of play. A throw-in coming on the other side.
Good cross in there from Connor Presley. It's a good cross because it's got pace. It's right into that danger area where if a striker gets on the end of it, lovely little bit of skill from Orlando Sinclair. And have a look at Connor Presley. Lines it up, whips it, bends it. It's dropping just above Kyle Murphy's head. That was nearly a fantastic opportunity there for the home side.
Hernandez, little touch around Martinez, and we're going to have another booking here in tonight's match, as Martinez will see his name in the book.
I don't think there was any malice in that. It was a little bit late, but the referee's been harsh. He booked Wesley Decas earlier on, and I thought that was a touch harsh, so at least he's being consistent, the referee. But you know, I just sometimes think you got to mean to hurt somebody. You got to aim to be nasty to get a yellow card, but perhaps not these days. Certainly didn't see much in it. But from now on, Martinez is going to have to tread very carefully. A second yellow, and of course he'll be on his way to the showers.
Martinez, a Woodbridge, Virginia native, 17 years old, and on loan from DC United Academy, making just his 3rd start of the season. That is first booking in a Loudoun uniform. Right back to Benitez on this near flank. Hawkins heads it on, back to Edwards.
It's very, very difficult if you're on Nkonkwo to deal with that long high ball on your own. You've got to be some striker to bring that down and keep possession. So you need to give him a little bit better service than that. If you give the big man proper service in that box, then I reckon there's every chance he'll hit the back of the net for Atlanta too.
34th minute now we tick into. If you're just joining us here on ESPN+, thanks for tuning in on this Friday night. Loudoun United FC hosting Atlanta United 2. I'm Chris McCogic, alongside me, Gary Bailey. As both these teams currently on losing skids, 2 matches straight for Loudoun and 3 for Atlanta. 9 matches winless overall for Atlanta, but they are certainly looking good from the onset of this match.
Yeah, they're looking good, but it doesn't help if you don't win. You've got to get those 3 points behind you, and it hasn't been their play going forward that's been their problem so much as conceding bad goals. And so far, they've kept it reasonably tight at the back, so good news for Atlanta 2 fans.
Foul called, and this will go to Loudoun. Quick restart. Bustamante. Pilato. Pilato takes it in. Ward, advantage played on that late challenge. Bustamante covered well by Conway. He goes down and wins the foul. It's a free kick now for the home side. And there's Murphy coming up saying, hey, where's my card?
Yep, Conway just getting a lecture from the referee who says, be careful. He's not going to put up with anything, and he has really shown 2 yellow cards, so he is a very strict referee.
And we're hearing, yes, there it is, already a substitution today, as it will be Pilato, who just was involved in that play, will be making way now for Gabriel Segal. Segal, 18-year-old forward out of Bethesda, Maryland.
Another young man coming on, and so many youngsters. That's 5 players now, 20 or younger, for both sides. So some wonderful talent we're enjoying here this evening.
Not sure what the circumstances are of that, but I think something is up for that substitution to be occurring in the 36th minute. A good opportunity here for Segal. Ball sent into the box, meanwhile, headed away. And Atlanta back in control.
With that pressure from the red shirts, again, it just makes it so difficult if you're Atlanta at the back. You can't afford an error here. Look at that pressure, pressure, pressure. As you get the ball, you're being closed down. That's good work from Loudoun. They're forcing the ball back to the keeper. And you make one mistake in that area, and Loudoun pounce, and they're not far from the goals, and that's why it can be a catastrophe, and it has been against, I think, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They got caught a few times, just being dispossessed on the edge of their box.
Through ball down the right side, Kanakimana. Ball sent in, but well over everyone. Nearly bounced for the first time outside the box. And out of play, touched out in the end by Ku DiPietro. But how far up Segal came onto the field and really started affecting the match in that first pressure, you have to think maybe it was a tactical sub where he's going to offer some offensive ability out there. Benitez plays it in there, gets it back, but then cleared once again by Hawkins. Murphy down the left flank. Sinclair after it. He's going to get to this one.
Get up, get up. High your left son, get up.
Sinclair
Go,
chips it right flank. Here comes Presley. Ku DiPietro plays it in there, but over everyone, and that's been the theme of these crosses tonight.
It has been, and Connor Presley made a fantastic near post run there. And if DiPietro had seen him, Ku DiPietro had seen him, he would have picked him out at the near post, and it would have been a great opportunity. But the opportunity goes back in. Once again, Connor Presley, every time he gets the ball on that right-hand side, he's a big threat and can create opportunities for Loudoun.
Down the left flank again, there's Fernando. Presley takes it in. Deflected and out of play. It'll be a goal kick now for Edwards.
And again, Connor Presley, in fairness to him, he was at the one end there creating the chance, and he's back at the other end defending. So, well, he's got a big engine on him. Either that or he's going to be absolutely whacked at half-time.
Fans follow Loudoun United and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+, and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Back to Atlanta just like that. They'll try the left flank now. Fernando plays it in there and cleared away and off the head there. As it'll be a throw in for Atlanta, trying to dictate things. Final about 7 minutes of this first half. So far, 6 shots for the away side, 2 on goal. Of course, none of them finding the back of the net to this point.
Yeah, you've got to fancy that Atlanta have done more in this game so far than the home side have. I mean, plenty to go in this match, of course. It's still early days, but credit to the visitors. They've been positive. They've tried to get forward, and they've certainly tested that Loudoun defense. But you always feel that Atlanta, too, they take too many risks at the back. And that's probably why Loudoun is sniffing around and occasionally pressurizing them just to see if they can dispossess them, catch them out. Nearly there as well, wasn't it?
Murphy nearly getting to that one. Very close. Little flick on. Benitez, through ball there to Fernando. Luis looking inside the box. Benitez, the strike and the curler up and out of play. It's a goal kick coming, but again, the chances keep on coming from that near flank.
Oh, I thought when Benitez hit that, it was going to fly into the top corner here. Luis Fernando there with the ball across. And as I'm looking behind it going, that could be on target. It just bent away. Let's have a look at it from this angle. See if it tells us more as to how close he was. Not too far away. Good chance.
Beautiful target there, but just a little bit over the crossbar. Benitez making start number 6 of the season, but opening things up here as he's left up the field. Pietro putting it in. Presley back across, but cleared away at least briefly. This will trickle out. Stays up with the home side here in the 41st. Run by Ward down the left flank. They didn't see him, though. He was wide open for a moment. Atlanta player down, meanwhile, on the near flank as Ward continues. He goes down. Ooh. Foul called.
It's a yellow card, I think.
Be surprised if it's not. As there it is, and into the books is Conway.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lunge, isn't it? And given how strict the referee has been so far, he just had no choice but to give that yellow card. Have a look at the skills here. Nice running from Ward, and yeah, he knows that Conway, he looks up to the heavens and thinks, oh, I'm in trouble here.
Kind of going in there with the scissor look on the tackle, and the yellow given as check in with the player on the near side, went down in the middle of the action. That's Fernando, who's been one of the more impactful players so far in this match.
He has, Luis Fernando, been very sharp, the left-footed Brazilian. Mind you, a little water break for everyone from the Atlanta 2 team. They're all grabbing a chance to get, some juice and some water down. And much needed on these warm evenings. Mind you, if you come from Brazil, you're probably used to it.
They're certainly getting hotter as we move into summer now. It's nearly July next week. Can't believe it.
I'm going to say once again, it's a set piece, and if they can deliver it, especially now they're down to 10 men, Atlanta 2, with Luis Fernando off. If it's a good delivery, something could happen here.
Bustamante on the end of it, puts it into the box. And luckily there for Atlanta, didn't need to worry about that one.
It's not a bad free kick. It's in that area of uncertainty between keeper and defenders, and they weren't quite sure who was going for it. It was still a little bit too far away from the strikers. They were stretching. They couldn't get on it. But certainly a better free kick than before. And we're getting a look at Luis Fernando. Seems to be struggling. Not sure he's going to make it back on.
We'll see if they make a sub in the next few moments. Keep in mind, we are just on the edge of halftime if they do want to play with 10 men for a few minutes. Benitez, and they'll play it back. And Atlanta now down to 10 men on the field. They might be being a little bit more conservative out there. Good ball down the right flank. Conway after it. He'll take it in. Battling with Ward. Through traffic goes down there. No call from the referee. Didn't see much there. Ward will test that right flank. They've been dangerous so far, but those crosses just have not found the heads inside the box. Presley. Pietro finding a little hole there by the right corner flag. Cross sent in there, a one hop and cleared away by Decas. Stays with Loudoun. Loudoun content here, pass it around the back a bit.
You think against 10 men, they'd want to take advantage of this benefit they have.
Segal left flank, and Sinclair looked over and said, "Where is everybody?" and went after it. And a throw in now for Atlanta.
I'm just wondering if they're now substituting Luis Fernando or not, whether he's coming on. Is he back on, or is he?
No, we're going to see another winger here for Atlanta United too, as it's Kisadu getting in on the action.
It's a pity to lose the Brazilian. And as you said, quite rightly, he's been sharp this first half and caused Loudoun all sorts of problems, which probably means that from a Loudoun perspective, they're quite happy to see the back of him.
Kisadu getting the start against Indy 11, and now obviously coming off the bench in the first half. And we'll see if he can replicate the success early on of Fernando. 2 minutes of stoppage time, as you can see on your screens at home. Hernandez goes down in the box.
Ooh.
Contact from behind, very close there.
There was a little bit of a shove on the back, and he felt it and went down. He thought it might be enough for the ref to give it, and it wasn't, but he certainly felt something on his back. And it'd be interesting, interesting to actually see that close up. It's exactly what happened, but definitely he's onto the referee still now, saying that was a penalty, ref. I've got a definite shove in the back. He's now coming to talk to the ref.
Little smile from the Venezuelan, and now certainly making his case after the stoppage.
Yep. He's still going on, Jose Hernandez. He keeps doing that pushing motion to the referee. Not happy.
Benitez takes it in. And we'll try through the back line now. Final seconds starting to tick off of this first half. It's been the away side really dictating things in terms of chances, especially. Hernandez going to this ball. Ward heads it on. Metcalf right there. Ball back in. Tipped away by Edwards. Presley now. Taken down by Hernandez, and a free kick coming.
He does so well, Connor Presley, at the end there. He brings it down expertly, knocks it past the striker and wins the free kick. I've really been impressed with him first half, Connor Presley. He's so good in defense and so dangerous in attack, and certainly so far been one of the better players for Loudoun.
Both these teams certainly look like they're set for halftime at this point, but for Loudoun, they come into halftime, and certainly it just has to be about getting the ball, finding your targets more inside the box. For Atlanta, that everything's going right. They just haven't found the back of the net. Yeah,
well, look, this is a Loudoun home game, and when you play at home, you're expected to get 3 points, or at least make a big attempt to get 3 points. And so for the onus is on Loudoun, who, by the way, in their 3 home games have lost 2 and drawn 1, so it hasn't been the best performances at home. They need to change that, and they'll need to change it in the second half.
And coming up in the second half, we'll see if they can finally find those 3 points at home. Right now, Atlanta United 2 with 7 shots. They're dictating things offensively. As we head into our halftime report presented by the National Conference Center, we'll take a look in the next few moments around the Wednesday action in the USL. And of course, more coverage of tonight's action at the break, 0-0 between Loudoun and Atlanta. Welcome back here to Audi Field in D.C. Loudoun United and Atlanta United 2 tied up 0-0 at the break here in halftime, presented by the National Conference Center, home of Loudoun United FC, a corporate training facility in Leesburg, Virginia. With that, let's take a look at the 4 matches that occurred Wednesday in USL Championship action.
Fantastic ball by Enevold to the lead by Farias. Pasher's in, and Pasher finds the back of the net, his 6th of the campaign. And as Tyler Pasher goes, so go the Indy 11. Jose. Flick by Osmond, and finds the back of the net. It's a 2-goal lead for the Indy 11. Jahate couldn't get it past. Enevold's in, taps it in. There we go. And now a flat-footed tie with the Tampa Bay Rowdies atop the Eastern Conference.
Back to Charleston inside the Ottawa penalty area. Left-footed shot, and we're tied 2-2. Carl Howard steps up, delivers, and it comes to Morsam, and Morsam scores in the 86th minute. His 7th goal of the season. Fury regained the lead 3-2.
Big moment for Logan Ketterer. RB and saved by Ketterer. Terrific. Lifted by Guzman, and Ketterer gets swept out. Akan and Ketterer going back and forth. El Paso getting an early ball. Kiesewetter is there! Off the base of the post. Chance down a strike is high from Herrera. Forbes. Salgado this time. Forbes! Just a touch from Ketterer to steer it wide. Forbes. Forbes!
Opportunities could come. Here's one for Portland. Hurtado has scored for the 2nd time in as many matches and puts Portland in front in the 14th minute. Simply will send it back in, finds the head of his man, and Reno has levelized. Danny Masovsky loves his soccer against T2, and he has another one. Simply has an opportunity to bend this outside the wall, and that's what he'll go for again, and Simply has a goal and an assist, and Reno has turned this thing on its head in 2 minutes.
For almost 2 decades, San Diego has been waiting for a professional soccer club it can call its own. Now led by leading soccer executive and co-founder of Sacramento Republic FC, Warren Smith, and legendary United States men's national team player Landon Donovan, its club has arrived. The USL Championship is coming to the University of San Diego's Torero Stadium, bringing all the excitement of the fastest growing league in North America to one of the top soccer markets in the United States.
All right, gentlemen. I don't think we need to kind of review what this game means, but it is a really important opportunity for us. I think it's an important opportunity for you guys in a lot of ways. Goal is to advance in the U.S. Open Cup by beating Cincinnati. It is that simple. Any questions? Let's go, gentlemen. Let's go.
It's more than just the 2 clubs. There's a bit of an angst between the cities, quite frankly. You can feel it.
There's just so much on the line. We're in the 3rd year now of seeing FC Cincinnati with, a lot of big moments that have happened and history built up.
Last year we came here twice and we won both games. Dealing with the crowd, the pressure, I think is one advantage that we'll have as we've dealt with it.
4th round of the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, the site of the renewal of one of the great budding rivalries in U.S. soccer, FC Cincinnati. Now the big dog from Major League Soccer hosting Louisville City FC, a rainy Nippert Stadium, the perfect place, Lorena, to renew the River City rivalry.
Sam Warner, the beauty. Jamal Johnson, he only knows bangers.
Look at Taylor moving up.
And Taylor with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding? Jamal Johnson from distance. Yeah.
Welcome back here into Audi Field. 0-0 at the break as we continue our halftime report presented by the National Conference Center, a corporate training facility in Leesburg, Virginia, and the home of Loudoun United FC. Now let's take a look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. As we just saw in that report from the USL Championship, San Diego, new home for the USL Championship, but also North Carolina FC potentially making some new stakes with their club and their blueprint throughout the Raleigh area.
It'd be wonderful to see in Raleigh. I bet those who live in that area would love to go and support North Carolina, who have a very, very good side this season.
And big trades occurring as we enter the transfer window in this summer. Tampa Bay Rowdy, so not really happy with their spot, even though they're top of the table in the Eastern Conference. They're now making some moves, sending some forwards around.
Yeah, Lucky Mkosana from Zimbabwe moving there to see if he can bag some goals there for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Team of the week now in the USL Championship. Let's take a look at many of the faces from around the league and some great performances, but there, Solo Asante at the top is the player of the week.
He's one of my favorite players in the league. The little Ghanaian from Phoenix Rising has got wonderful skills, international for Ghana, and no wonder he's seen on a regular basis.
Asante now in his club, 7 straight wins as the top of the Western Conference. Loudoun and Atlanta 0-0 at the break here, presented by the National Conference Center. And we'll be back with first half highlights and stats right after this. Welcome back here into Audi Field. Loudoun United and Atlanta United 0-0 at the break as we get set for the start of the second half. Presented by the National Conference Center, corporate training facility in Leesburg, Virginia, and home of Loudoun United FC. With that, Gary, let's take a look at our highlights from the first half. Both teams getting chances. Overall, it was Atlanta getting the majority of them, but it started pretty well with Loudoun.
Yeah, Loudoun positive in the first few minutes. That cross a little bit too close to the big keeper, who comes out and gathers quite comfortably. Connor Presley there throughout the first half, a real threat, and so too was this young man here, and that's Coup de Pietro, sets it up, and it's a strike from just outside the box from Orlando Sinclair. Good pace here from this man on the right side, Kana Kamana, and the goalkeeper Earl Edwards coming to the home side's rescue. So yeah, plenty of excitement and opportunities for both sides in this first 45 minutes.
For Atlanta, though, Luis Fernando had to be subbed off due to injury in the first half, so he'll be missing, and he generated a lot of those chances. But for both teams, it's really come from the wing positions overall, as you'll see continually here with Atlanta United. This left flank has been spectacular for them.
Yes, and you mentioned him there causing so many problems, Luis Fernando. Good save from Earl Edwards in that right hand of his. Absolutely vital to keep the home side with a clean sheet.
And Loudoun, some beautiful movements. They were able to get the ball to the flanks, but just not find those heads inside the box.
Yeah, Connor Presley with a great cross here. I mean, that is only inches away from Kyle Murphy's head. And there is the man in question who I think had an excellent first half, Connor Presley, down that right-hand side. And if he just gets a few more of those crosses in, every chance the home side will get on the end of one of them.
Yeah, we mentioned it a few times in the first half, but some new faces coming for Loudoun United, 3 of them to be exact. Saravia starting in tonight's match, and Sordo, he's on the bench, so we may see him in the second half.
Yeah, and John Murphy, who was previously with the New York Red Bulls, all an extra addition to the squad. And over the course of a season, you need plenty of players. You need to be able to rotate and rest players, and I'm sure they're delighted at Loudoun to have the 3 of them on regular contracts.
And Saravia making his 9th appearance of the season. And if you're a player that's sort of on loan technically from the DC United Academy, has to feel good, give you some confidence that Loudoun's willing to commit to you for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a step up. You go academy, you go to professional contract, USL, and of course you'd hope to move up to MLS and national team, and even abroad if you happen to have great talent, which I think some of these youngsters might have. You never know. You could be watching a future USA superstar on the pitch here this evening.
Our referee, Kaelin Radosov, giving out a few cards in that first half, 3 of them to be exact. And also that one substitution, bringing Kisadu, on in the first half. So just 2 left for Atlanta, 3 total for Loudoun as we hit the second half, 0-0, back where we started, and 2 teams really needing 3 points to approach that playoff position. Ball sent downfield. We're underway here. Second 45 from Audi Field. Again, I'm Chris McKovic. Alongside me, former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. As it's Martinez and the Loudoun defense taking it up the field to begin things. Ward there, nearly tackled down, but spins away through it.
So well, Ward there, doesn't he? Great pace. Gets away from trouble and helps get his team onto the offensive.
Ward getting the start today at that left back spot, and we've seen time with DC United this season.
Benny, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Jack, slide, Kenny. Yes, Kenny.
Martinez. Segal.
Okay, Benny, play. Ali, it's okay.
Kisadu plays it through. Presley there, back across, but halted there by Edwards.
Once again, Presley, that danger on that right-hand side there, and just can't quite find his man in the middle. Good defending by Edwards there, but the home side straight on the offensive in this first few minutes. That's probably a good feeling for the home fans.
Ball sent in, skied there on the volley by Sinclair.
I'm sure there's been a few words said at halftime there by Ryan Martin. You know, lads, you're at home. You've got to attack. You've got to go and win this game. You've got the crowd behind you. We need to get on a good run, and we need to feel confident at home that we're an unbeatable side here. We need to turn around the fact that we haven't won at home. So it would have been, I guess, a rousing talk from Ryan Martin, and his team have come out after the halftime with a positive attitude.
Out of play and back to Atlanta. I misspoke at the break. One sub has been used by Loudoun United, and it was Segal coming on for Pilato about the 36th or 37th minute. And really, it seemed like a more tactical one as Segal has really pressed up the field and added to his Loudoun offense, but now it's just all about connecting in that final third.
He's got some good pace as well, Segal, from what I've seen. So he could be very useful on the counter-attack.
Right flank now. Kanakimana trying to move the ball up the field, but they had to bring it back through the defense, and Castanheira will move it along. Save of the first half, probably, as you saw in the first half highlights, going to Edwards on the near post strike by Fernando. That's really the difference at this point in the match, keeping it scoreless.
Yeah, good save from the home goalkeeper, Earl Edwards. And got to say, it was a lot busier than Castanera. Castanera with a couple of comfortable gathers and 1 or 2 crosses. Earl Edwards under a lot more pressure. And that would have worried the home coach, Ryan Martin. And he'll be hoping for a much better second half in which his side dominated Atlanta too. But having said that, it's not an easy side to dominate Atlanta too. They can play good football.
Hernandez scoops this one into the air down the left flank. Benitez trying to find some room. He'll give it off. It's Atlanta side 3-1-3 this season when they score first. They're 0-7-1 when they concede first. So that's the importance of getting this first goal for them.
0-7-1. That's not a great record to have.
Edwards out of the back to Ward.
Good pressurizing there from Atlanta too. Look at those white shirts hunting, making it difficult, forcing Loudoun to try and play out the back, which they've managed to do. Credit to them.
Segal, centrally, trying to turn quickly, plays a through ball ahead. Can't find Murphy. Murphy's been pretty locked down after those first 10 minutes or so of the match. We haven't seen too much of him.
Yeah, correct. He looked very sharp early on, and there were some good balls in the box that might have resulted in something. But, yeah, since then we haven't seen too much of him.
Kana Kamana loses it. Out of play. Thought he had the deflection. Didn't in the end, and it's a goal kick now for the away side.
And he was just saying that I needed the ball back on the ground through so I could run onto it. And there wasn't the right ball back to him, but at least again from Atlanta 2's point of view, a nice positive attack, one in which they were probing that Loudoun defense.
Loudoun there with the goal kick as Metcalf will come over, taking his time for this throw-in in the 51st minute. Falls through to Martinez, and he'll play it up ahead. Got a left flank now. Deflected up and away. Metcalf. Hernandez. Strike from far out, but well off target and out of play.
It was far out, and it wasn't a good strike either. So in the end, didn't give the goalkeeper anything to do.
Kissadoo there, the sub on in the first half for Fernando. Settling into that wing spot.
Look at the white shirts, good pressure, and again, Loudoun playing out nicely.
Presley gave it off. He's running down the right flank. Here's Murphy trying to get involved. Plays it across. A run by Sinclair. Tackles the ball, but Metcalf getting in front of him just in time. A veteran move and getting the stop with the foul.
That's a brilliant bit of play. Carl Murphy gets it, and straight away, without hesitating, he puts it right back into the danger area. Orlando Sinclair knows it's going there, just hasn't quite got the pace. Look at Carl Murphy. He gets there without even looking up. He plays it into that danger area. And what he was hoping was that Orlando Sinclair would read him and be able to get in front ever so close there for Loudoun.
That's the combo play we haven't really seen from Loudoun so far. As a yellow card has been shown, and referee with the arm motion, as I believe that was on Kissadoo.
Kissadoo for an elbow up in the face, the referee's saying. And Kissadoo not happy with that and complaining, the man from the Ivory Coast, 20 years of age. And referee's having a word with him saying, oh, enough's enough.
Third yellow card this season.
This referee's very strict, but he's consistent. The players know that he's strict, so they have to be very, very careful with him, and nothing wrong with that. I think referee's important for them to protect the players. So if he felt there was an elbow up in the face, then he has every right to produce a yellow card.
Third yellow card of the match for Atlanta. Tied for first among all clubs in the USL Championship in yellow cards entering today with 40. Some perspective, Loudoun has had just 17.
At this time, it's the home side Loudoun putting great pressure on there and making it extremely difficult for Atlanta to play out the back. Look at that, closing them down, and they've turned over possession.
Presley, a good touch there with the deflection as Martinez takes it in. Benitez won it back. Good ball over the top down the right flank, but a bit too far there.
Good throw from the keeper right to the halfway line, and an opportunity here for a quick counter-attack from Loudoun.
Here's Murphy. Presley now, right flank. Stepping up is Benitez. Sinclair cuts around. Tiptoeing is brought down. No foul called. No one wants to play the ball on as all players stop, but Bustamante will say, hey, I'll take it. As Presley lines it to this one and flies just wide right of that near post.
That's a decent strike from Connor Presley. It wasn't too far off, had the goalkeeper scrambling, and he put a lot of power behind it as well. Castanero just diving on his left side to make 100% sure. And Bustamante head up there, sees Connor Presley. He just says, I tell you what, I'm going to have a dip from here. It's probably about a yard wide or so, but certainly worth the effort.
But with the way the game's been going, it seemed like both teams just expected a call there. Nothing came of it, and for a few seconds, maybe Loudoun could have pounced even more on the opportunity. Gissadou down the left side. He'll get it right back.
Good choices again, Ken, go.
Keep it moving, simple. Kenny, angle. Stay here, angle. Just stay, but angle.
Metcalf changes sides of the field. Benitez after it, but can't get it just before that corner flag.
It's a difficult ball, isn't it, to switch it with pace into the far corner. It's got to be the absolute perfect ball. But possession might be lost, but look at Atlanta too, just boxing in Loudoun here, closing them down, making it difficult for them to play out. Hoping to turn over possession.
Murphy brings it down. Thought he kept it in play and eventually out there on the final deflection. Bustamante down the left side. Sinclair now. Pushing the tempo. Little through ball up to Martinez. Losing it on the challenge, but he'll get back to it for a last-ditch deflection. Gives it back to Wyke. With the current lineup out there for Atlanta United 2, the leading goal scorer this season is Lawrence Wyke, as Romario Williams and Brandon Vasquez currently with Atlanta United, and Vasquez even getting the start Wednesday's match against Toronto. Martinez back to Ward here in the 57th. Hawkins.
It's like a bit of a boxing match at the moment, sort of punches, little punches traded back and forth. You get possession, I get possession, you get possession. Nobody able to really create a good chance at either end of the pitch.
Sinclair goes down, late contact by Hernandez, and a free kick coming.
Well, maybe a chance here for Loudoun to do something, a good ball in. Always keep saying a good ball into the box and you get a knockdown. Maybe it's a set piece, it just opens up the scoring. So let's see what Loudoun can do. Well, they take it short instead.
Hawkins over to Ward. But what's the thought process there? Why take it short when you can maybe gather some momentum into the box?
I agree with you. That's what I would tend to do. Put the ball in, create danger. But maybe they felt they could play their way in, but they've been trying to do that for the last 57 minutes. So my thought is try something different.
Yeah, exactly. Right flank now. Martinez. Bustamante. Presley, right flank, he'll get it. And line cuts it across. Easy takings, though, for Atlanta, too.
Once again, Connor Presley is the one who has a great first touch and gets the ball into the danger area.
Kanakimana down centrally, through ball down the left side. Kisadu there, the strike! And hitting the side netting on the near post. Oh, a good look on the transition for Atlanta.
It was a good counter-attack there, and very quick Kanakimana there to get the ball and play it out wide, and Kisadu with an effort. Yeah, I still think you've got to hit target there. You might say you're not too far away, but from sort of 15 yards out, make the goalkeeper work. We haven't seen enough of that tonight. Lots of shots, all of them off target. Ultimately, I want to see goalkeepers working. If I'm a coach, I want to see the opposition goalkeeper working. And we haven't seen, I think we've seen one really, or maybe two good saves from Earl Edwards, and that's about it so far.
Bustamante trying to take it the other way. Through ball to Presley. Flag stays down, ball over. Murphy misses the chance on the doorstep. Oh, he wants that one back. What an opportunity.
That's a bad miss, especially from a striker as good as Kyle Murphy. Connor Presley's put it on a plate for him just to stick it into the back of the net. Let's have a look at it again and see if there was anything that stopped him from scoring. A lovely ball from Bustamante. Once again, Connor Presley, first touch. No, he knows it as well, the way he's lying on the ground. That is a gift of a chance for Kyle Murphy, and that should have been his 5th goal of the season in the USL Championship.
Just could not find the right balance of touch onto that ball.
Didn't need much of a touch, it just needed a connection and it would have flown into the back of the net.
Meanwhile, a substitution on for Loudoun, and it is who we mentioned before, Christian Sordo, the recent signee out of Silver Springs, Maryland, just at 19 years old, 6 goals in 9 appearances for the DC United Academy, and now going to spend the rest of the season with Loudoun United. Bustamante. Left side, here's Ward. Here's Sordo. Ball sent back across. No one there, though. What a dangerous ball. Presley back. But right there is Castanera.
That's a decent save from Castanera. Not too much on the shot from Connor Presley. It's got direction, but it hasn't got enough power. But at least Presley hits the target, which we haven't seen much of this evening. Keeper gets down nice and comfortably. But I'm just thinking back to that Murphy opportunity. I mean, really, that should have been Loudoun 1-0 up. It's 2-3 yards out. It's on a plate for him. He's missed a golden opportunity to put the home side in the lead.
Well, at this point in the match, certainly the chance we look back on if Loudoun's unable to get the result they want in the match today. Meanwhile, Wyke coming off for Vint. And Vint, another Atlanta United Academy player, made his pro debut back on March 9th against Hartford, and the 17-year-old getting his 12th appearance of the season for Atlanta United 2. Both teams now with just one substitution remaining. Segal now right flank, tries to keep it in play. Indeed he does. And a late tackle there at the end of the play. Late touch, that is. As it will be now a free kick for Loudoun, gaining some momentum here as we enter the 63rd.
Coming into that crucial time of the game where you want to get a goal And it's 0-0. It's a good time to score. It means you haven't got too long before the end of the game to hold on to your lead.
Bustamante on the end of this one. Sends it in, headed away on a dive, stopping into Sordo, trying to create. Through traffic, cuts it across. Oh, what a piece of finesse. Christian Sordo on off the bench. It's 1-0 Loudoun.
What a goal from Sordo. Absolutely brilliant. He's only been on the match for a couple of minutes, but the skill. He goes one way, goes the other. He tucks it right into the corner, hits it early, and gives Castanero no chance. But have a look, the ball comes in. The young man here on the board goes one way, goes the other, comes back, hits it early, and bends it right into the corner. That is a fantastic solo goal there. All the skills in the world, an early hit. The goalkeeper hasn't got time to move. And eventually Loudoun get the breakthrough. It should have been Kyle Murphy with the breakthrough, but in fact, it's this young man, Christian Sordo.
Sordo, his first goal here for Atlanta United 2, and what a piece of work it was as Martinez is dragged down here on this play. Hernandez will get a clear yellow card, and just like that, Loudoun a chance for the insurance tally.
It's tough for Atlanta now, 1-0 down. And they've now got, 4 yellow cards. They've got to tread very carefully, but what a magic moment for that young man, Sordo. Absolutely brilliant little bit of skill there.
Castanero just couldn't do anything, standing.
No, it was hit early. It was hit so early. There's a goalkeeper. You don't get much chance to get yourself set. Normally a striker will pull his foot back and you go, right, here comes the shot. That was hit almost as he was dribbling, which is the best way to do it. And gave poor Castanero in goals there. Absolutely no chance.
So currently Loudoun would be in line for their first home win in the club's history as Bustamante puts that on frame, but pretty easy read there by Castanera.
It's a decent strike, but it's so far out that when the goalkeeper would have to be asleep to let that one in. And again, we've seen a lot of that this evening, a lot of shots from 30 yards plus. They've got to be an absolute screamer to go in. And I think there's better time spent trying to get the ball wide and then whipping balls into the box. And certainly Kyle Murphy had a chance, and Sordo showed him how to do it, how to finish off a good move.
Knocked ahead. Coup de Pietro lays that off, but stolen right back by Hernandez. Atlanta looking to respond.
It's important that Atlanta too do respond. 9-match winless streak, and if they're not careful, it becomes 10 matches here today. And they certainly haven't played badly, which is what their coach Stephen Glass has been saying. My team's playing good, but unfortunately people also look at the results and go, well, you need to have a win there somewhere along the line. And again this evening they can point to a whole bunch of chances in the first half, especially from Luis Fernando when he was on the field, but they at this stage don't have a goal to their name.
This offense for Atlanta United 2 has not scored in the last 2 matches, giving up 6 goals overall. As Ward trying to keep the ball, and they'll play it back to Hawkins. Tackle from behind, it goes out of play. And Ward will have the throw in. But Stephen Glass shocked by that call. Kissadoo, things opening up for him outside the box. A wishful chance there, but it rolls wide and out of play.
Yep. Seen a few of those mishit shots today, especially from Atlanta too. And it's a nice opportunity. There was a whole bunch of shirts, white shirts. Kissadoo looks up and he could have played any one of 3 different players through and goes for the shot and doesn't get close. That's frustrating for the young man.
Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Loudoun and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on Loudoun United's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club.
I'm still enjoying that Sordo goal. What a lovely bit of skill it was from the young man. Brilliant. He went left, then he went right, then he came back, then he hit it early. Absolutely fantastic, and it really has brightened up the match. And we said beforehand, there's a lot of young players with great skills there, and 1 or 2 are going to do something special. Well, we've seen that from young Christian Sordo already.
Here he is again on the ball. Gives it off to Ward. Back heel, Ward can't get back to it as Vint got a good stop, and it's back to Atlanta. But you talk about Sordo, just the story that he has. This week he's signed. Clearly the front office has faith in him here for Loudoun United and, of course, DC United. And then he proves it on the field, comes off the bench and has just a piece of individual brilliance, and that has to be up for USL Championship Goal of the Week.
Oh, yeah, definitely a candidate for Goal of the Week. And here's the goal again. It comes out to Sordo. Have a look here. He goes one way, it goes back. He comes in the other way and hits it early before anybody can see it coming. And when you got that number of defenders around you, that is magical skills, magical awareness. And look at him here. Great touches on the ball. Wow.
Here he goes again. They'll try the right flank, though, with Presley. But Sordo wanting to get Loudoun that insurance tally as Presley goes down. No call, as advantage was briefly played. Not sure what the call is here.
Seems to be pointing the other way, the referee, as if he's saying to Connor Presley that he did something wrong.
Well, he fell on top of the ball. It could be for a handball, but I'm not sure.
He says he didn't hear something. Let's have a look again. He's got possession. I thought there was a tackle. I guess it's a handball there after. So referee saying it wasn't a tackle, it was handball, and therefore gave the free kick to Atlanta 2.
Still an awkward pause in the action as they thought things through. Not sure if an assistant called something in.
But the referee's been firm, he's been direct, he's explained what the way he sees it to the players, and that's good refereeing.
Ball goes out of play on the far flank, and it's back to Atlanta, still looking for that equalizer.
The good news for Loudoun United is with all these home matches still to come, 13 of their last 18 games at home, if they can win here today and get a bit of belief going in their home ground, then who's to say they can't finish comfortably in the playoff places.
3-game road trip coming up after this match today, but then, as you mentioned, Gary, great stretch coming for them, including their what really is their home opener on August 9th against Charlotte in the home confines of Loudoun United Stadium. Ball sent in, headed on towards frame, but Edwards right there to grab onto it. Okonkwo couldn't get that in the back of the net. A good shot, but just not enough power.
Yeah, not enough power. Okonkwo doing well to get on the end of it at least, but once again, frustration for the big Nigerian striker. This will be his 6th match, and as yet, no goals. And when you play that number 9 role, that really is your job to get on the end of things and at least tuck 1 or 2 away. I'm sure he'll point to a lack of service, and probably quite rightly so. But still frustrating when you haven't got the numbers to show for your hard work. The 0 in the goals column doesn't look good for a striker.
Ball out of play into the Loudoun Stampede supporters, still awaiting the opener of their new stadium. Audi Field right now, maybe paving way to a first win here at home as Segal look for the insurance tally, but again, a shot from outside the box. Can't find the back of the net.
No, it's the one thing that both coaches will probably take away from this match, amongst other things, is the shooting has been very, very poor from players who have a lot of talent. You can see the talent they have, but leaning backwards a little bit. Just make the goalkeeper work. You never know. It might just catch the goalkeeper by surprise, and it ends up in the back of the net, or he pushes it out and somebody follows up and scores. But if you miss the target, then clearly you're never going to score.
Chested down by Conway, lines into this one, but Edwards right there, the tip, and he gets some help from Hawkins. It's a corner kick coming for Atlanta United 2.
Good save from Edwards there, just pushes it away from danger, and his defenders mop up the pieces there. But that's much, much better from Atlanta 2. A shot on target, making the goalkeeper work. And like I say, once you do that, chance of a follow-up. In this case, they get a corner out of it, and suddenly the possibilities start opening up.
Metcalf on the sideline, getting some treatment briefly. Kanakimana, he'll stand over the ball and give way here, as it will be the captain that jogs on over to take this opportunity for Atlanta. Now their 3rd corner kick overall of the match. Ball sent in, and some grabbing there inside the box as it's cleared out, and looked like Ward was in the middle of that and drew the foul, as it will be a free kick coming. We're hearing a final substitution about to come on for Atlanta United 2, and it's George Campbell on for Dacus, and really a like-for-like switch on that back line. Campbell currently in the Atlanta United Academy system and has played for their U16, U17, and U19 sides. The 18-year-old coming in for his 11th appearance of the season. All previous appearances have been starts, though, for Campbell.
I just wonder if it involves any change in tactics, whether Atlanta 2 are going to try and push an extra body forward and try and attack Loudoun to try and get that equalizer. It's worth the risk. Doesn't matter whether you lose 1-0 or 2-0. But if you can get a chance to get back in the match and get a draw out of this, then it's worth pushing an extra body forward.
Martinez. Hawkins stepping up. He'll slice this one on back. An awkward ball there for Saravia. And getting way under this one was Edwards. Out of play, throw into Atlanta.
I guess a big question for Loudoun now is you've got, 16, 17 minutes left to protect your lead. How are you going to go about this professionally? Are you going to drop back a little bit, close down the spaces, try and keep possession? Let's see how professional Loudoun are at managing a 1-0 lead.
And that's the thing. Their last home match here, 1-0 lead through a majority of the match, and then gave up those 2 goals late and gave in the 11 the win. Martinez scoops that out of play, and it's going to go to Loudoun. That late touch on the end of it by Campbell, and gives away possession.
It's an embarrassing moment for the substitute. I think he was just trying to sort of, control the ball as it crossed the line so he could take a quick throw in, but he caught it on the line and gave away possession. Again, this is where Loudoun can just slow the game down, keep control, try and get possession back, and wind down the clock.
Out of play, they'll move the troops briefly downfield, and Presley will take over. Tune in to ESPN3 on July 3rd at 11 p.m. for Wednesday Night Soccer. Watch as 2 of the premier clubs out west duel for playoff positioning when Sacramento Republic FC welcomes Fresno FC in the Highway 99 Derby. Catch all the action July 3rd at 11 p.m. on ESPN3. Yellow card will be shown as we continue. Wanted a quick restart, did Loudoun, but instead it will be bent into the book.
Yes, he pulled back Sordo, and that's going to get you a yellow card every time. But again, Sordo's so quick. Here, he just nips in Sordo, takes the ball, and then there you can see, just pulls him back. And Sordo has caused all sorts of problems since he came on, no question about that.
I guess you can call that a professional foul, as Sordo would have been wide open at the top of the box.
Exactly.
If he took a few more steps.
100% correct.
Bustamante, a chance here. He took a similar shot on goal in recent build-up on a set piece, but not really troubling Castanheira before. We'll see if he tries it once more. Ball sent in, dipping one, but just wide and a bit high of the frame, and it's going to be a goal kick.
And back to my previous argument, if you don't hit the target, then the keeper doesn't have to work. At least hit the target and send all your strikers in to follow up and see if the goalkeeper can't hold it. But when you miss target like that, keeper just watches it go by, puts it down and takes his goal kick.
Ball over the top. Kissadoo there on a great run, but too heavy of a touch, and Hawkins will clear it.
Oh, Kissadoo, what a chance that is. If he brings that down, if he brings it down well, it's just wham back of the net, and unfortunately it runs away from him and the chance goes a-begging.
Metcalf after this one to keep it away from Segal. He'll sweep it on back to Castanheira. Have to play it out of the back. Almost a giveaway by Edwards as he goes through Martinez and keeps it alive for Atlanta.
Oh, Kissadoo, I think that's the best chance that Atlanta have had. He just, a good first touch, and he was through against the goalkeeper. And that's what Atlanta have been playing for, just one good chance to try and hit the back of the net. That was it. And a poor touch, and the chance is gone.
Metcalf, captain, trying to ignite things here in the final third. Conway sent into the box, headed up by Hawkins. settled by Hernandez. And finally cleared as Atlanta tries to get the ball back. And there's George Campbell again giving up the ball just on the flank. And it's a throw in for Loudoun.
He's probably just trying to find his rhythm and range and touch. And of course, it's the wrong time to be giving that possession away. But in fairness to him, he's just come on the pitch.
Making these mistakes right in front of the fans as well. Not going to help the situation.
Doesn't help. And I mean, that's really why you go on the pitch before the game, to get these sort of your touch right. So if you do come on, you come straight on. But let's give him a little bit of leeway there, understanding that he came in cold. But time's running out here for Atlanta too. And they don't want to make it a 10-match winless streak, but that's where they're heading at the moment.
Quick turn by Murphy. Sordo there, wide open room into the box. He'll have a second. The brace for Christian Sordo. 2-0 to Loudoun.
Wow, if you want to make an impact, he has just done so. What a good substitution by the coach, but what a lovely player this man is. And he takes the chances, something we haven't seen much of in this game. There's been shots that haven't hit target, and Carl Murphy's missed an open goal, but this man, he's had 2 chances. He's stuck it in the back of the net twice, and that is quality, and that makes you a good player. When you can bury chances like that, give the goalkeeper absolutely no ability to make that save because he's tucked it in the corner. Well done, Christian Sordo. Absolutely brilliant impact on this match.
Certainly loves that bottom right corner spot in these 2 chances. But you have to say on that opportunity too, credit to Sordo for taking care of that opportunity. But on the near side of the field, there's no one in that back line for Atlanta United too. No one was there to mark him, and that led to that opportunity.
It certainly did, and there was a lovely pass to him as well, to Sordo. And now
Kanakimana nearly getting the opportunity, but stopped in the end by Edwards. He's down inside the box, swept back the other way. As you can see on your screen, we did have a substitution right after that goal as Jean-Baptiste came in for Martinez into that midfield slot. And Atlanta United 2 right back the other way. Down the left flank, here's Benitez. Too heavy of a touch, and it's stolen back. Here's Presley. Conway. Ball sent up and out of play. Goal kick coming. And now here will be that substitution we just mentioned. And a goal kick for Edwards. So Baptiste coming on for Loudoun, looking to seal things up. The Honduran, 19-year-old and 6'2" midfielder, making his 6th appearance for Loudoun this season.
Yep, some fresh legs in midfield there, and Martinez doing a really good job. Lots of ground covered and trying to close things down in midfield. And Jean-Baptiste, I assume, will take over the same sort of role just for the next 10 minutes or so. But it looks like it's job done for Loudoun, their first home win of the season. That's going to bounce them up the table. They've got games in hand, and happy days for the home side. For Atlanta too, they're heading for their 10th match without a win, and they've played well. They just haven't taken their chances. Very few shots on target, and when their chances have come, there's been some poor touches in the box. Other than that, their build-up play has been good, but you get measured on the final touch, and Sordo's had 2 great final touches.
Ball down the right flank there, looking for maybe a third. Coup Di Pietro losing it there on the challenge by Campbell, finding his touch on Audi Field finally, as the ball is sent down the left flank. Saravia will handle it though, back with his keeper, and in the 82nd minute, Loudoun back in control.
With that extra goal now, Loudoun don't have too much pressure. Now it really is a case of just playing the game out and relaxing and not making any errors and keeping possession. At 1-0, it's a lot more risky, but at 2-0, they should have enough there to see this game out.
Pressure from Kissadou, but instead played back by Ward. And Edwards in a sticky situation. He gives it away to Conway. He stuck out, ball played back, tipped away. Kissadou there, can't get it on frame. Ward will clear this away, and Atlanta still cannot pounce on the opportunity.
Earl Edwards there, very lucky to get away with that. Messing about at the back, unnecessary. I don't think goalkeepers should be doing that because they're not meant to be. It's not a skill that you work on. You shouldn't be taking those risks. Just kick it clear. If you're not quite sure, kick it clear. That is so risky. And have a look here. I mean, there were 2 moments there when I thought he's going to get punished in the end. His defenders bail him out. If that had been 2-1, there would have been a lot of unhappy defenders staring at the goalkeeper.
It looked like Baptiste actually got the final touch in there to keep it away from Kisadu. He just came on the field, so credit to him for getting out there and helping out his keeper. Kisadu, he'll take it in centrally, moves it down the left side. Okonkwo. Stopped by Saravia. The chance goes out of play. Nothing doing there by Baptiste. Excuse me, by Benitez in that moment, as it will be a goal kick for Edwards.
Yep, another shot not hitting target for Atlanta 2. But that was a chance for Atlanta 2 to get themselves back in the match. 2-1, 7 minutes to go. And you're thinking, well, we're back in. But luckily for Earl Edwards, he doesn't get punished for that. I've got a funny feeling his manager's going to have a quiet word after the game and say, do not do that again.
He'll send it down the left side. Baptiste the header, then once more by Benitez. Ball flicked ahead and right back to Edwards. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Good tackle there, as Loudoun back in possession and looking to cement this 2-0 victory at home. Will be their first home victory as a club.
It's been hard work on both sides, but one man has made a massive difference, and that's Christian Sordo. 2 magical moments, 2 goals, settles this match, you would think, with 5 minutes left in favor of Loudoun. And that's what this game was crying out for, and that young man provided it, Christian Sordo.
Presley breaks through, looking for the chance. Deflected away, he gets back to it, still rattling around. Second opportunity into the side netting, as Ku DiPietro couldn't find the back of the net.
I just wonder if Ku DiPietro could have just crossed that into the box and instead of trying to sneak it in the near post. But I guess at 2-0, it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. If it was 0-0, it might have been a different story. But right now, Loudoun just trying to keep possession. Oh, as I say that, they got dispossessed.
Baptiste losing the ball immediately on the tackle from behind by Conway, but then right back to Loudoun, as Atlanta still can't find that final touch towards the box. But to your point before, Gary, Sordo came on off the bench and really acted as that connection between the midfield and the final third for Loudoun. That's what we felt like really was missing in the first half.
Yeah, and he brought an ability to finish off the chances. There have been chances, a lot of shots, very few of them on target. Carl Murphy misses an open goal, and really he'll know that he should have put that one away. And then this young man comes on and just is absolutely brilliant, delights us all with fantastic skill, scores one, gets a lovely pass and bangs a second one in the back of the net, and that's it, game, set, and match.
Kisadu there, through the traffic, keeps it. Thinking about it, lays it off for Benitez, lines it to this one, finds the back of the net. And one back for Atlanta United 2, and maybe some hope now in the final 4 minutes plus stoppage time.
Wow, what a great finish that was. What a wonderful, wonderful strike. And at last, one of them hits target, and does it hit target? Picks out the top corner. Absolutely brilliant here. Kisadu with the pass out wide. And have a look at the strike coming in. That is absolutely fantastic. Was that from Benitez?
Indeed it was.
Wow, that's a good finish. And you turn the clock back 4 minutes when Earl Edwards messed up at the back, and it should really be 2-2. And is there a chance yet for Atlanta to get something out of this match?
Benitez has been so good pushing up that left flank. Loudoun looking to respond now with Murphy at the end line. Chips it in there, but grabbed out of the air by Castanera. And now Atlanta some life in this. Can they steal a point on the road? Kanakamana cuts to the box. Looking for the cross. Sends it over. Flicked up into the air. Settled down by Saravia. Sordo after it. And it was out of play already. Throwing for Atlanta.
Good cross into the box there from Kanakamana. And it really caused a lot of problems. And suddenly Atlanta 2 look a much better side. They're sharper. That goal from Benitez is a wonderful, wonderful goal. And it's for all their hard work, Atlanta 2. That's the first real bit of class we've seen around the box. Can they produce something else?
Benitez through, ball held up. There was Hernandez through traffic. No call from the referee as Hernandez really slow to get up.
Looks like he was winded in the process.
Back to Metcalf and Atlanta. Campbell. Benitez. All ball, says the referee. Bustamante on the run. Through ball down the left flank. Here's Sordo. And he'll take it towards the corner. Murphy battling with Edwards. Out of play, and this will stay with Loudoun.
Well, Loudoun really do have to see out the clock. At 2-0, I said it should be comfortable, but that fantastic goal from Atlanta 2 has changed it. And now for the home side, it's a case of let's not make any errors, let's keep possession, let's work this clock down until the end of the game and take our 3 points. But certainly, what a wonderful goal from Benitez. Right up in the top corner. Gave the keeper absolutely no chance.
Out of play, throw in the other way, back to Atlanta. Flicked on. Kiss to do the header, but only Presley is there, and Saravia will gladly hold this in and send it back up the midfield. Out of play, throw in for Atlanta 2. Vint stepping up. Flicks under this one. Not sure where that was headed, but out of play. Goal kick coming.
It's a poor cross from a situation where Vint really should get the ball into the box. It's an opportunity lost, and a good ball in there, and you never know. Somebody gets a foot on the end of it, and it's an equalizer. So it's frustrating for Atlanta too. They've had ball in the opposition's last third, but they haven't done much with it. Just one great strike from Benitez. Other than that, a lot of shots off target, crosses that haven't found their men, and then when they do get through, a bad last touch, and that's, if they don't get a point from this match, Atlanta 2, once again they will leave thinking that they played some good football, but just couldn't finish it off.
3 minutes of stoppage time left here at Audi Field. Atlanta trying to find the equalizer. Chested on. Benitez, the goal scorer from before, cutting centrally. Knocked away. Bustamante takes over. Campbell takes it in against Segal. Really, if Loudoun's able to hold on, brings me back to that Edwards mishap in front of the goal, almost giving it up to Conway.
Absolutely.
That might be the difference, and really it was Baptiste with the last-ditch tackle that saved the day as Murphy goes down, and Vint there giving up the foul.
Vint's already on a yellow card, so I think the referee just has taken a lenient view on that and said, look, be careful, one more and you're off. Not that there's not much time left, but Carl Murphy doing really well to draw that foul, taking his time in recovery. The Atlanta boys wanting to get out quickly. He's saying, no, I'll take my time, thank you. But yes, you do look back at that Earl Edwards situation where he loses control of the ball and you're thinking, well, that's going to be a goal, and some wonderful last-ditch defending by Loudoun at the back. And that now that you see the goal from Benitez, now you look back and think, wow, that was a vital moment for Loudoun. And I think we're going to see a replay of it here. Look, Earl Edwards, at this point, you're not sure, just kick it clear. He tries to get clever, gets dispossessed, very well dispossessed there by Conway. Ball comes across, you think this is going to be a goal, and then fantastic defending from Jean-Baptiste. And Earl Edwards, I think, will go and buy him a beer after the game. Actually, I'm not quite sure he's old enough to have a beer, is he?
That's what I was going to say to you. So.
In fact, most of the team aren't old enough to have a beer. I'll give him a pat on the back and say, thanks, mate.
That's all I get?
Yeah.
Free kick for Loudoun at midfield. And it will be Hawkins that takes it. Time continues to tick on, but have to expect some time will be added on due to that last minute burned off. Presley Knocked on Segal, open room. Slows down now the bender, but diving save to his left. It's Castanera with a good stop.
That was a shot on target from Segal. Didn't have enough pace to worry the keeper Castanera too much. And there's maybe a last chance here for Atlanta too, if they can just get that ball and get it into the box.
Here it is, throwing on the near flank. Vint plays it centrally. Campbell now. Ball sent in from the left flank. Kanakimana can't handle it as it goes out of play, and a throw in for Loudoun. And looks like Ward will take this.
Oh, man, no rush to take it whatsoever. Loudoun, they're going to just amble over. I know the final whistle's going to blow any moment, and to be fair, we've been treated to an incredible goal from Benitez, 2 wonderful moments from Sordo, and those 3 events will stand out in this match as the highlights because they are 3 wonderful, wonderful goals. And a lot of good effort on both sides, but ultimately it's going to be the 10th match unless something happens now. 10-match winless streak for Atlanta 2.
Kanakimana cuts in right side of the box, cleared away by Hawkins. And there is the final whistle. The first home victory for Loudoun United FC. And there is a happy manager in Ryan Martin. Just a few weeks on the job, but gets the win here at home. Thanks to that man, Christian Sordo, fresh off his new contract, and he finds a brace here this evening.
And the manager does well. He keeps him fresh, brings him on. There's the fans saluting their team, but yeah, it's all about Christian Sordo. Certainly Benitez's goal was a wonderful goal, but that young man, the first goal was just great skills. The second one was a fantastic finish. And wow, what an impact to make. And I think there's a number of managers, especially at DC United, you might suggest, who are looking at this thinking, do we have a star of the future?
Sordo will certainly celebrate tonight with his teammates, as they should do, with their first home win in franchise history. When we come back, we'll have full match stats and highlights right after this. It's a 2-1 win for Loudoun United. Welcome back. A 2-1 victory at home for Loudoun United FC over Atlanta United 2. As we get set to take a look at our full match highlights, it's a whole lot of Christian Sordo after he came on in the second half.
Yeah, came on and as a sub and made all the difference. It was 0-0 at the time, no goals in the first half. This ball comes in from the free kick. It's in and about the goals here, and Sordo, absolutely brilliant. Goes one way, goes the other, and he hits it early before the keeper even gets a chance to get set there. That is a wonderful bit of skill, individualistic skill. If Messi did this, we'd be applauding him. But that young man, well, look at the bench. They're up and jump because they know how good that is.
A brilliant finish, and I have to expect we'll see that up for USL Championship goal of the week. And he would continue with a second for the brace.
Yeah, Carl Murphy with a fantastic pass, by the way. But what a good finish And that's what makes a good player, someone who, when he gets a chance, can tuck it away. Carl Murphy, got to give him credit there, because he saw Sordo free, but Sordo sticks it in the corner. And once again, the bench are up and saying, wow, what a great finish from our young man. Brilliant. And at that stage, 2-0 up and cruising.
Yeah, Loudoun at that time really hoping for that first home win, but here's some trouble.
Yeah, Earl Edwards, he played really well up until then. He gets dispossessed, and he is so lucky. And he's got his defenders to thank. I think it's Sean Baptiste who gets in there and saves the day for the keeper, because that's going to be extremely important when we see the next move, which is the ball out wide to Benitez. And he absolutely thumps us in the top corner. That's also going to be in for the goal of the week. And had that mistake from Earl Edwards been punished earlier, it would have been a draw. Nonetheless, it's just that one goal and victory for the home side.
Too little, too late for Atlanta United too, but they are able to end their scoreless drought with that strike by Benitez, the left back, sealing at least a goal on the board for Atlanta United too. Plenty of shots across the board, not too much in the great quality-wise, but shots on target, able to get some in the end, keepers some big stops, but overall, it was Sordo in the second half that was the difference.
Well, Sordo was superb, and Loudoun, for me, probably edging the match because of those Sordo goals and 1 or 2 other chances they had, like Kyle Murphy. Look at Atlanta United too, 16 shots, just 5 on target, not good enough. Loudoun's is a little bit better, so I think Loudoun will leave very happy with their 3 points, and at last to get winning on home turf.
And that's the big moment for them. 1-2-1 now at home and moving up to 15 points on the table with just 13 matches played. Atlanta United to a frustrating night, but for Loudoun United, they'll celebrate with Christian Sordo bagging 2 goals for the brace this evening. 2-1 victory for Loudoun. A big thank you to our entire crew, and thank you for watching at home. Alongside me, Gary Bailey, I'm Chris Makoviak. Enjoy your night and the rest of USL Championship this weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.